Non-aggression pacts are the most common type of treaty. They're signed after almost every war between alliances, and they stop those alliances attacking each other militarily for at least a few months. This treaty has a bad reputation because it is often signed at the conclusion of global wars. This means that two halves of the game are unable to attack each other for months. This can stagnate politics. Protectorates are the second most common type of treaty, and they are very complicated. The treaty itself is a one-sided defensive agreement. A larger alliance protects a smaller alliance and receives nothing in exchange. If that sounds dubious, it's because it is. The larger alliance tends to exert a lot of influence over the protectorate, and they must meet a lot of conditions to keep the treaty going. So why do people sign protectorates, you may ask? Smaller alliances need resources, protection, and advice. And for better or worse, they can get all these things from a larger alliance. Most of the larger alliances hope that by investing in the smaller alliance, they are creating a loyal and capable ally that will stick with them through thick and thin. When this is described as a bad thing, then larger alliances will argue that they are trying to create more alliances, so that more content can be created. Optional defense treaties are very rare. They basically mean that if an adversary has a good reason for attacking one of the parties, the other one will stand aside. That said, some alliances have used ODPs to hide their true power and influence. Those alliances treat ODPs as mandatory. A variant of the ODP is the ODOAP, which includes optional aggression. This implies that defensive agreements like ODPs that don't have an AP clause cannot be activated to get allies for an aggressive war. Test, a very prominent alliance from before 2017, memed this, and signed an optional aggression pact with the entire game. It's a totally outdated term from when alliances were meant to only be concerned with their own security, and starting wars for fun was a bad thing. The MDP is the bedrock, the foundation, of all of PNW's politics. If one alliance is attacked, the others will come to their defense. If a rival assigns an MDP with another alliance, that alliance is almost guaranteed to be fighting you in the next war. Without this simple defensive agreement, you could not gather the entire game for political, player-driven events. A variant of the MDP is the MDOAP. It's different in the same way the ODOAP is, and I refer you to my explanation of that. Optional aggression means nothing, but mandatory aggression is a big deal. This means that neither alliance will participate in offensive wars without the other. This is a huge constraint, and they effectively become the same alliance in the eyes of those planning wars. The key term here is non-chaining. This means that if one alliance needs to honor a different defensive treaty, the other does not have to defend them when they are attacked. I'll give an example. So there are three alliances. Alliance A has treaties with B and C. Alliance C is attacked, so A defends. B stays out of it, even if A loses. PACTs are extremely versatile and dramatically underestimated. The first clause is effectively an uncapped non-aggression pact, spitting in the face of the political orthodoxy that alliances need to fight to create content. The second clause causes all sorts of mayhem, because without shared defense, the two alliances are more inclined to share their findings with friends and allies. The third clause means that if one of them is attacked, the other will fund their war effort. Adversaries do not usually take kindly to this, and it can lead to the supporter being dragged into the war. And trade means almost nothing. Paperless should be simple. It's when an alliance has no treaties, obligations, and obvious allies. Paperless alliances can do whatever they want, whenever they want, with whomever they want. In practice, the majority of paperless alliances sign secret treaties, and/or act as mercenaries during the global wars. It's not clear if optional treaties compromise an alliance's status as paperless, since although it is a treaty, there is no military obligation. Every paperless alliance is unique, and must be judged on a case-by-case basis. Pirate alliances are not alliances in the traditional sense, since the members are free to attack whatever they want. Because of this, they have no military. Their members are constantly joining and leaving, and they have no interest in forming or joining spheres and blocks. Pirate alliances reject the very idea of security, which traditional alliances are built upon. When 3 or more alliances sign the same defensive treaty, it's called a bloc. Blocs are more politically coordinated than spheres, but tend to be less powerful. Typically, a bloc's collective decisions must be unanimous. If they're not, then alliances start scheming and sowing division within the bloc to secure votes. Sphere refers to sphere of influence. When large or powerful alliances sign bilateral treaties with a lot of different alliances and there is no competition for their loyalty, we refer to it as a sphere. When these smaller alliances sign bilateral treaties with each other, we call this consolidation. The alliance leading and influencing the entire sphere makes all the important decisions anyway, so most people don't think these extra treaties matter. Sphere leaders often encourage consolidation, because it makes it more difficult for smaller alliances to leave a sphere. However, if smaller alliances in a sphere form a bloc, they can sometimes exert influence over their sphere leader. In these situations, smaller alliances are effectively unionizing to get better treatment.